Okay, so good morning to all the students. So those who have joined now, so my name is Tanmay Das. So I will be taking your Principles of Control System subject for this semester. So are you comfortable with English, everyone? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you for the feedback. So all of you are from third year electrical. So I think the classes have been started since the last week, and the control system subject will be taken from today onwards. Okay. So this particular subject, let me share the screen once. Okay, I hope the screen is visible to all.
Yes.
Okay, now the screen which you are looking at, you're looking at the syllabus. So the subject name is Principles of Control System, and the subject code is ELC 502. So now this particular subject has 3 credit. Okay, so 2 for lecture, 1 for tutorial. So there will be 3 lectures per week for this particular subject. Now all of you are familiar with this course outcome. Okay, so there are 4 course outcome for this particular subject, and this table shows the mapping of the course outcome with the program outcome. So since you have not started, or this is the first class of your Principle of Control System, this subject, so since you don't have much details knowledge about this particular subject, so you won't be able to understand the course outcome at first if you don't understand the basics of this particular subject. So for that, I will, before going to the course outcome, I will be discussing about the basics of the particular subject. Okay, so this subject, okay, has few modules. Okay, so obviously we will be starting with the first module. So the name of the module is Introduction to Principles of Control System. Okay, now the first topic will be Introduction to Control System. So what is control system? So control system is actually the study of the control engineering. It is related to electrical engineering, it is related to electronics engineering, it is related to any engineering. Okay, so basically whenever you are operating any instrument, suppose you are driving a car or driving a aeroplane, okay, or flying an aeroplane, so these are all advanced control systems. So any electrical appliance you're using a TV, a refrigerator, or an AC, so everything has a control system inside it. So few have open loop system and most of them have closed loop system. So basically, suppose if I give you the example of an AC, that is the air conditioner. So when you purchase an AC, so the function of the AC is to control the room temperature. So nowadays all are digital, so you are using a remote and you are setting the temperature to be 20 degree, and outside the weather is hot. Suppose outside temperature is 35, okay, and in your room the temperature is around say 30 degree. Okay, so you have switched on the AC and you want to control the temperature to 20 degrees Celsius. So now if it is 20 degrees Celsius, so obviously it won't reach 20 degree instantly, isn't it? If you are switching on an AC and you are setting 20 degree, you don't expect that the 20 degrees temperature will be reached instantly. It will take few minutes, 10 minutes at least. Okay, so that means the controller inside the AC, that is the air conditioner, that you can say this compressor, is actually sensing the temperature inside the room, and it is giving a signal to the compressor. There is a temperature sensor which senses that the temperature inside the room is 30 degree, and it signals the, you can say, the compressor that you have to keep on continue your cooling system, because the 20 degree temperature has not reached. So the compressor will continue to cool, and at every instant the temperature sensor will sense that whether the room temperature has reached 20 degree or not. When it is reached 20 degree, then the temperature sensor will signal the the compressor of the AC that the room has reached the 20 degree which has been set. So the compressor will stop for that particular instant, and for a while the 20 degree temperature will be there, but slowly, since when the people are inside the room, the carbon dioxide emission is increasing, okay, so the temperature will slowly increase. So suppose if it is 21 degree, then again the temperature sensor will give a signal to the compressor the temperature has changed, so there is an error. So input is 20, output is 21, because output means the, you can say, the inside temperature to room temperature. So again the compressor will start, and again it will reach 20. So this is a very common control system. So similarly, every appliance, not only appliance, everything, suppose you are launching a rocket, you are flying an aeroplane, okay, everything, the modern systems, you're basically suppose you are manufacturing or you're designing a robot. So in those cases, every single you can say aspect has a control system inside, because there has to be some error signal, and once there is an error signal, the controller has to control that and fix that error signal. Okay, so the control engineering. Okay, so is it have you understood the first example which I have given? If you have any doubt, then you can ask. Okay, and if you are unable to hear, because there is a network issue, so if someone is facing a network issue, then you can raise the issue. Okay, you can interrupt me in between. Okay, so I'm continuing. So control engineering or control systems engineering is an engineering discipline that deals with the control systems, applying control theory to design equipment and systems with desired behaviors in control environment. That means it is an overall engineering where it is an overall engineering where we apply this control theory for every equipment whenever we are designing and operating. Okay, just the example of the AC I have given you. Okay, so the fundamentals of the control system include measuring an error signal and then adjusting the system to reach the desired course of outcome. So what is this error signal? Error signal means whenever you are setting something as input, you expect that you will get the desired output. Okay, so suppose you are setting so the same example of the AC, you are setting the temperature to be 20 degrees Celsius. So the temperature you are getting is say 25 outside. So obviously there is an error. So this error signal will be communicated by the temperature sensor to the compressor that you have to keep on blowing, keep on operating, because the room temperature is not equal to the input. Okay, and once the error signal is 0, that means the control operation is operated perfectly. Okay, so our target will be, whenever we design any equipment or machine, there should be some feedback system. Okay, that whenever you are giving an input, whether the actual output we are getting is equal to the input or not. Okay, accordingly you have to operate. So that is the entire control system. So if the system deviates too fast and the control system is unable, the control system is unable to adjust the course of output, the control system is inadequate to manage the disturbance. So suppose you have a control system, you have designed a control system where the input and output, this error signal, is not at all becoming 0, because the control action taken by the system, suppose that AC, the compressor is not operating properly, so it is not taking the, that means the control action is not taking place as expected. The controller, so the compressor is the controller. Okay, so that is not, that the operation is not actually as expected, so that means it is not able to adjust or adjust the course of outcome. then the control system is inadequate to manage the disturbances. So that is not a proper control system. So that means you have to operate on that particular control system. A control system engineer is responsible for designing, developing and implementing solutions that control the dynamic systems. What is dynamic? Dynamic means the system which changes very frequently. It is not static. That means it continuously changes, instantly changes. Okay. So it is very tedious task and very difficult task to control a dynamic system. Okay. So as a control engineer, it is responsible for designing, developing. You have to design the system in such a way that it should operate as expected. You have to develop these improvements and you have to implement the solutions for that to control that dynamic system. Dynamic systems are systems that constantly change. As I have told you, it constantly changes. Okay, so it is not fixed. That means the output is continuously changing. Okay, so that means the control system has to operate according to the output. Okay, that means if the system is changing, the controller has to operate in such a way that the system should always be as expected, or it should be in stable condition. Okay, so if, suppose you are in the same example in an AC room, if the door is constantly opening and closing, then obviously you know that in AC room you should not open the door. But if you are constantly in every minute you are opening the door and someone is entering and leaving, that means the system is totally disturbed. Okay, so dynamic system. So the compressor has to control very accurately to reach the temperature as set. Okay, so if it is unable, because suppose it is taking 1 hour time, still the temperature is not reaching 20 degree, that means that control system which is inside the AC air conditioner is not accurate or adequate or proper. Okay, so that means the designer has to make adjustments so that even the door is opening or closing, so keeping all these things in mind. Okay, then also the controller has to that AC should operate smoothly and the temperature should be reached within 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so now we will discuss about the open loop and closed loop systems, closed loop control system. Okay, so before going to that, since I have given you a brief idea about the control system, so now we can go through the course outcome, because this is very important, because the course outcome should be communicated to all the students, because you as a student you should be knowing that what are the course outcome for every course you are obtaining for. So the course outcome for the principle of control system, the first outcome is to analyze the electromechanical systems by mathematical modeling. That means after studying this subject, you should be able to analyze any electromechanical system. Suppose you are manufacturing a robot, so there is an electromechanical system, or a car, or an electric vehicle. Okay, so it is a very modern equipment in the field of electrical engineering, that electric vehicle. Okay, so you should be able to analyze the electromechanical systems by mathematical modeling. Suppose there is a electric vehicle given to you and you are opening that. Okay, you are seeing that what is the actual hardware inside it, what are the software inside it, and then accordingly you are designing the mathematical model so that you can remake those things, or you can implement some new changes inside the model. So you should be able to analyze and design the mathematical model. Actually analyze, that means you should be able to understand first. Then determine the transient and steady state behavior of the systems using standard test signals. But transient and steady state, these terms will be terminology will be introduced to you later on in due course. So the second one is that determine the transient and steady state behavior. That means every system should be stable. Okay, because if it is not stable, that means it is not a proper control system. So similar for the example of the AC, if the AC is not able to keep the temperature as set, okay, then if it is not able to keep the temperature at 20 degree, if you are setting the 20 degree, it should be at 20 degree within few minutes. If it is unable to remain at 20 degree, that means the system is not stable. Okay, so after analyzing the mathematical modeling of the system, you should be able to determine that whether the system is stable or not by using some test signals. So first one is to analyze the mathematical model. Suppose you have mathematical model of a electromechanical system. Suppose you have been given an electric vehicle, okay, a car, electric vehicle car. You have been asked that please see whether the system is stable or not. So first of all, you have to analyze that system using a mathematical modeling. So after studying the control system, you will be able to analyze the entire thing using a block diagram, that this is the entire system and this is the way the system operates. Okay, then second will be you have to test whether the system is stable or not, okay, using some standard test signals. Then third one is analyze linear systems for steady state errors, absolute stability and relative stability using time domain and frequency domain techniques. So these are the few terminologies which will be introduced later. So the basics thing is that you have to analyze the steady state error. That means after giving the test signals, you have to see whether what are the errors which are coming and how to improve it. And then the fourth one will be identify and design a control system satisfying specified requirements. Then after analyzing everything and after testing whether the system is properly working or not, if there are error signals are actually stabilized or not, whether the system is stable or not. If it is not stable, then you have to design a system which is stable. This is the last course outcome. So that means as a electrical engineer in the field of control system, you should be able to design a system with 100% accuracy with proper control mechanism. Okay, so I hope you have understood this course outcome. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for the response. So I am continuing with my lecture. So open loop and closed loop control system. So open loop and closed loop means every system, control system, may not be closed loop. It can be open loop also. Okay, so basically the simple systems which we deal with, simple ones, not the electrical ones or the electromechanical ones. Suppose the electrical appliances, the AC, that air conditioner example which I have given you, that is a closed loop system because there is a feedback. What is the feedback, that I will discuss later in details, but just for information that the AC system is a complex system and it has feedback, so it is a closed loop system. But open loop systems are very simple systems. Okay, so this diagram you can see, this is a basic control system which is a open loop system, this one. So once again, if I define this particular open loop system, the control system is that means by which any quantity of interest in a machine, mechanism or other equipment is maintained or altered in accordance with the desired manner. That means it should operate as you, it should operate in a manner which is being desired. Okay, so you're controlling a machine or any equipment, okay, and it should be operating as per the desired input. Okay, so for example, in this over here, an example of a automobile is given, or a car, driving system of an automobile. Suppose you have a car, okay, and you know that car has accelerator, brake, okay, steering. So how to operate a car? Suppose you want to increase the speed, so you have to press the pedal of the accelerator. Okay, so the speed of the automobile is a function of the position of the accelerator. So if the accelerator is pressed too much, then the speed will increase, and if you are lifting your leg and the pressure on the pedal is say 50%, then obviously the speed will be 50%. So the desired speed can be maintained, okay, or design change in speed can be achieved by controlling the pressure on the accelerator pedal. So this is known to you for any automobile. Whenever you are pressing the accelerator, if you are pressing the accelerator pedal too much, then obviously the speed will increase much more, and if the pressure is less, then the speed will be less. So this automobile driving system, that is accelerator, carburetor, and engine vehicle. So this is the driving system. So this is the entire system. the system comprises of these three elements. Number one is the accelerator, then the carburetor, then the engine vehicle. That means if the accelerator is pressed too much, okay, then accordingly what happens, for the automobile driving system, the input signal is the force on the accelerator pedal, which through linkages causes the carburetor valve to open or close so as to increase or decrease the fuel flow in the engine, bringing the engine vehicle speed to the desired value. That means you are pressing the accelerator, the carburetor valve opens, and the fuel injection increases, and the engine, the speed of the engine increases. Okay, so this is a control system. So this is open loop, there is no feedback. So what is happening? The input signal is the force. So the driver is pressing the pedal, so that is the input signal, and where it is, the force is applied on the accelerator pedal. So this is the element. Okay, this is the controller. Okay, so the input is entertained by the controller. So when the force is given, the accelerator pedal, accordingly to the accelerator pedal, the carburetor linkage is connected, and then the rate of flow of the fuel is also coming as a side effect. Okay, so the pedal is, if the pressure on the pedal is more, then the rate of the fuel flow will be more. Okay, then comes the actual system. This is the system, or it is also called the plant, because system is the entire thing. Entire thing is the system. So this is the controller, this is the plant. What is plant? Plant is the element where the controller takes action on. Okay, or sorry, the controller gives signal and the actual action is taken. So this is, first block is one element, which is the controller, because this is controlling the entire speed. So if the force is more, then the accelerator pedal will give signal to the carburetor that the driver wants to increase the speed, so the rate of fuel will increase. If the force is less, then accelerator pedal will give signal to the carburetor that the fuel should be injected in a less rate. This is the controller. Next, engine vehicle is the plant, so where the actual action is taken. So according to the rate of flow of the fuel, the engine will speed up or decrease, and then output is the speed, so we are getting the speed. Okay, so there is a simple basic control system which is open loop. So just driver is pressing the pedal and the car is increasing the speed. Okay, so it's simple open loop system. So this shows a block wherein each block represents element and plant, mechanism, device, etc., whose inner details are not indicated. So it is not indicated, but I am just explaining to you verbally that this part is the plant. Okay, and this is the controller. Okay, now coming to the closed loop control system. So closed loop control system, it is a little bit critical one, because okay, is the screen visible to you? Closed loop system. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
okay, so can you see the screen of the closed loop control?
Voice is not clear, sir.
1 second. Okay, now can you see the closed loop control system page, which I'm just sharing? Closed loop control.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So there is a,
Yes, sir.
okay, thank you. So there is a network lag actually. Okay, so coming back to the closed loop control. So closed loop system means over here there is a feedback. So how does it, how to visualize it? So taking the same example of the car, okay, now in this case we will reconsider the same system, but over here we will be discussing not only about the speed but also about the route. The route, speed and acceleration of the automobile is determined and controlled by the driver by observing the traffic, road conditions, and by properly manipulating the accelerator, clutch, gear, lever, brakes, steering wheel, etc. That means if you bring all the driving skills, driving techniques inside a car, that means not only speeding up, but also you have to use the steering wheel, you have to use the gear, and you have to look on the traffic while driving. So if you consider all these things, then the system will be a closed loop system, because in a system where only you are pressing the pedal and the car is increasing the speed, that is very simple system. But in practical you cannot increase the speed according to your own choice. You have to again press the brake, you have to use the steering wheel. Okay, so if you consider the entire driving mechanism, then it comes under the closed loop system. Okay, so suppose the driver wants to maintain a speed of 50 km/h. So this is the desired you can say input, or desired say set value. Okay, so the output should be 50 km/h speed. So what he has to do? He has to press the accelerator. Okay, so he accelerates the automobile to this speed to help the accelerator and then maintain by holding the accelerator speed. So no error in the speed of the automobile occurs so long as there are no gradients or other disturbances along the road. That means if the speed of 50 km is reached, okay, so then he has to control the pedal accordingly so that the 50 km speed is there. But in a busy road, in an Indian road, you will not expect that the speed should be maintained continuously. Okay, so there will be some bumpers, speed breakers and traffic. Okay, so you have to decrease the speed. Okay, then you have to turn the car right and left. Okay, so if there is no error, then there is no disturbances, then the speed can be continued. But there is always a disturbance in the road. So actual speed of the automobile is measured by speedometer. So the driver is looking at the speedometer. Okay, so speedometer is a you can say a sensor which is sensing the speed and indicated in his dial. The driver reads the speed dial visually and compares the actual speed with the desired one mentally. So if the speedometer is showing 45, so he knows that I have to drive the car 50 km/h. So he is saying that there is an error signal. Okay, so this control system is involved from the human being also. But if you are using an autopilot, auto driver, then what happens in an automatic car? All of you know what happens if the you can say the driver or the operator has set 50 km speed, then the car will always try to keep at 50 km. So in that case, the speed which is being sensed by the speedometer, that will give the signal to the AI, that is the robot, that the speed is not 50 km. The speed in the speedometer is 45. Okay, so in this case we have a human driver, so the human driver knows that the speed is 45, so it is not 50 degrees, so I have to increase the speed once again. So if there is a deviation of the speed from the desired speed, accordingly he takes the decision to increase or decrease the speed. The decision is executed by the change in pressure on his foot, accelerator pedal. So why the speed is decreasing? Because in a busy road, obviously, as I have told you, you have to press the brake, okay, and you have to stop at a signal, okay, and if someone is passing the road, okay, in a reckless manner, so obviously you have to control the steering also and control the speed also. You have to brake, then again accelerate. So that means a 50 km is not continuously achieved. The driver has to stop the vehicle at regular intervals. So whenever he is applying the brakes or decreasing the speed or changing the gear, so the speed is decreasing. So again he has to take control action to increase the speed at 50 degrees. Okay, so whenever he is stopping at the signal, the speed is 0, and when the signal is clear, again he has to increase the speed to 50 degrees. And whenever there is too much traffic, so he is decreasing the speed to 25 and again increasing the speed to 50 degrees. So this thing where the speed is not continuously at 50, so there is an error signal between input and output. That means output minus input gives you error. So that error signal is sent by this feedback. Okay, so see, this is the desired speed. Input is the desired speed. Suppose 50 degree. This is 50 degree, not, sorry, my mistake, 50 kilometer per hour. 50 kilometer per hour. Okay, so this speed is an input given by whom? By the driver, it's himself. Okay, so I will be driving the car at 50 degree. That is the input to the entire system. So driver is now try to maintain the speed in his brain, that there should be some 50 kilometer per hour speed. So he is using his leg muscles. First, controller. This is the controller, this part. Okay, controller. Then the controller, when it is pressing the speed using the leg muscle, the force is applied. Then the second controller, that is the accelerator pedal, will increase. And this is known to you. This is similar to the previous one. Okay, so this is the main controller of the car. Then comes the plant. Okay, now the plant will try to reach the speed of 50 km per hour. Suppose it is not 50 km, suppose it is 45. Why? Because there is traffic. So that signal 45 will be read by the speedometer. So the speedometer will give signal to the controller. Okay, this is also controller. Okay, so the main controller who is accessing the feedback, it is sent to the feedback to the driver brain, that driver can see that speedometer is 45. So it is not 45. Okay, so that means it has to increase the speed to 5. So this error is -5. So we are lacking by -5 km per hour. So this should be 0. How can it be 0? If the speed is at 50 degree, 50 km per hour. 50 km per hour. Then only it can be 0. So as long as it is not 0, so the driver will keep on controlling the speed of the car. So if the output is 50, then the signal, this speedometer will give 50. So the feedback signal, when it is applied over here, so input minus output is 0. That means there is no error. But whenever there is some error, so suppose it is 40 km per hour, obviously this signal will go as 40. So 40 minus 50 means -10. That means you are 10 km per hour short of the desired. Hello. Hello. Hi. Do you have any question? Are you asking something? Okay. Have you understood this part, closed loop system?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the closed loop system. So in a closed loop system, you have to keep one thing in mind, that there will be a feedback. Okay, because previously in this case there was no feedback. So the pressure was given by the leg, so force is given to the pedal, car is accelerating, the speed is increasing. But here the driver is not controlling the speed. He is not checking whether the speed is any desired speed or not. So that means over here there is no set value. It's just giving the pressure, giving the input signal, getting the output, because there is no set value. But in a closed loop system, there is always a set value, which is the desired one, which is 50 km per hour. So the output should be kept at the input, and if the output is not equal, then output minus input will give some error. So this is the error signal. Okay, so this, suppose I am writing representing this one as, suppose O T, okay, time variable IT. So OT minus
सर आवाज नहीं आ रहा है.
IT. Now am I audible? Hello.
No,
Yes.
Voice
sir.
is not audible, sir.
अभी आ रहा है क्या? हेलो हेलो हेलो, am I audible now? Hello. 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 Now am I audible? Now am I audible? One second. Hello, now am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So actually I have connected multiple devices because there is a network issue, that is why. So this closed loop system, so you can see, so this OT minus IT gives you error. So I am calling it to be ET. Wait, the screen is not visible, I think. Okay, so now I think it is visible. So you can see over here I have represented that OT minus IT. OT is the output and IT is the input. So output minus input gives you error. So this is the error signal. So if the output is equals to input, then the error will be 0. That means if the kilometer speed is 50 degree input and the output is also 50 kilometer per hour, and the output is also 50 km per hour, then the error will be 0. That means the controller is operating smoothly. If it is not 0, that means the feedback will give that there is an error. So the driver will continuously try to increase the speed or decrease the speed to maintain the desired speed. Okay, so this is the example of a closed loop system. Okay, so is it clear for all? Hello, and now is it audible? Have you understood this part?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I am ending my class up to here. Okay. So I will continue in the next class. So if you have any question regarding today's lecture, then you can ask me. Any questions from your side?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, then thank you all. So before leaving, I am just recording the attendance, okay, because I am taking these screenshots. Okay, so don't leave now until I tell you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I have taken the screenshots, so now you can leave. Okay, so thank you, students. Thank you all.